finally time to start getting something done on this Nova body. It's been taking forever. I was searching online looking for a place to acid dip this body. I was going to have to buy a cart to put this on and drive an hour to have it acid dipped, and then of course go pick it back up, and then I've got the cart to do something with. But while searching for a place to do the acid dipping, I came across a mobile wet blasting service and called them. The nice thing is they come here to do it. It won't be quite as thorough as the acid dipping because it won't get inside, you know, these channels and so on. But again, for what this car is, a 1976 Nova, I think the wet blasting will serve my purpose. Should get this completely down to bare metal. They use a rust inhibitor, and then I've got 3 days to a week to get some primer and sealer on it. My goal was to have this running and driving this year, but it's almost September, and obviously I'm not going to make it, but I would like to at least get it back on all four wheels, make it a roller again, while I'm working on putting the roll cage and so on in it. Okay, I had this Nova wet blasted. They call it dustless blasting, but that's really a misnomer. You know, I'm not sure. I'm undecided on whether I would do this again or not. This made a huge mess in the driveway, and I know what some of you are going to say is you will never get all the sand out of all the little pockets and channels of the car. And you know, you're probably right. I'm not unhappy that I did this because that's the only way you know for sure. But I've got a lot of sand to deal with here. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I'm going to try a shop vac. I'm going to try turning it up on its side and tapping it with a rubber mallet on the bottom. Let it fall out on the floor. But I've got a lot of sand to deal with, and of course I'll have to take an air hose and try to get in places like this and blow it out. The nice thing is that it is on a rotisserie, so I can turn it upside down and on its side and use an air hose, use a leaf blower, use a rubber mallet. We'll get most of it out, but it is definitely messy. I think the next time I'd probably bite the bullet and try to take this next car I would try to take to an acid dipper. But it did get I'm going to say 99% of what I needed off, and places where it missed, that was actually just being visually able to see. Again, you're shooting out water and this sand mist, and the guy was wearing goggles and they kept, you know, fogging up and getting scratched lenses, so it was just a matter of not being able to see. But At least I know what I've got to work with here. The trunk, if I can get there. The trunk, where I thought I had just a couple small holes, is it's got more damage than I thought. So I've got to decide what I'm doing there. I have located a trunk pan in Arizona, but between buying the pan and getting it shipped to Ohio, it's going to be like $750. I'm not sure whether I want to go that route or not. I'm still deciding. But I've got a lot of cleanup to do here, and that's what I'm going to do this evening. Hopefully it does. Alright, one evening of cleanup, and I'm not as discouraged as I was. You can see where that wet sand laid that there is a tiny bit of surface rust, but I'm not concerned about that. My biggest concern was getting in all these nooks and crannies, and it's still going to be a long road. If any of you watched Robbie Layton Nation, where he did the Golden Nugget restoration, he had it sandblasted, and they had it on a rotisserie, and they kept rotating and blowing and pounding, and it just constantly, you know, it seemed like they were never, but they were doing a show car quality restoration. I'm not doing that. But where I was really discouraged, I don't feel quite so bad right now. My wife said at 100 plus miles an hour, probably more of this would come out, so let's hope so. But like I said, I'm not so discouraged, but it's there's still a lot of cleanup to do. I'm going to bet we took 10 pounds of sand out of the inside. I mean, buckets. We had this little 1-gallon bucket that we were putting sand in, and I emptied it 4 or 5 times, and then we've got all this on the driveway to deal with. And like I said, I know there's still plenty of sand inside, but it's not as overwhelming as it was when I started.